today I would like to tell you a little bit about this project. So, let's go.
As I promised during the lightning talk, today I'm going to tell you about the C++ video captioning and translating initiative named the C++ Video Access Project, cppvap.wikidot.com. Not all of you have seen my lightning talk, that is why I will briefly remind the answer to the primary philosophical question: what do we need this all for? Here's the answer. The maximum number of people in the room during the plenary session is within about 1500. The session is recorded and then viewed. The number of video views is at least 100 times more. Another important fact is that this number is still growing every month and will continue growing for a few more years. I recently heard that YouTube counts not just the number of views, but the number of unique accounts that viewed the video. If that is true, then this number is likely to reflect the actual number of people who have viewed the video, probably more than once. Thus, the main impact of a modern tech talk is not on the live viewers, but on the video viewers. To make the story short, here's the picture. These are the live viewers in the room. These are the English-speaking video viewers. These are the English readers, those who understand written English but not spoken. And these are those who don't understand English. These people currently just don't watch the C++ videos. They get nothing out of our conferences. The delivery of the C++ contents to these people, that's what we need this all for. Now, how to deliver the contents? YouTube supports the video translations in the form of captions. Thus, we need to create and add those captions. How to do that? There is a number of YouTube help videos and pages that come to help. However, they are somewhat out of date. YouTube is a software. It's growing, it gets redesigned, it's changing. After I had watched YouTube help videos, it took me some time to put all the pieces together like a puzzle in order to get the full picture. That is why I'd like to show you briefly how the captioning and translation works today. Before that, I need to let you know that I have manager permission for the YouTube channels CppCon, which is the previous name of the C++ Now conference, and CppCon. That is why some of the screens available for me may not be available for a general YouTube user. Here's how to see the captions. If the captions cover some part of the screen, you can drag them to where you like. You can also customize some other settings. This affects your own preferences only. But before you can see the captions, they need to be created, submitted, and published. That's what is called community contributions. For the YouTube channels CppCon, Meeting C++, CppCon, the community contributions are enabled. That is, the menu item Add Subtitles CC is available. The channels are ready for captioning. Experiments have shown that translation is a relatively simple, fast, and straightforward job if based on quality English captions. So the first and the most important step is original English captioning. Here's how to provide the English captions. English captioning is not fast, but we are not alone here. YouTube provides the auto-generated English captions. They have multiple errors, lack the punctuation, but they save some typing and time synchronizing. As you see, you mostly need to edit the auto-generated captions and fix some timing. This YouTube help video provides more details, hotkeys, etc. What the video does not say is a trick that helped me a lot. I do this.
I don't understand most of the things that they are talking about.
And the speaker becomes much more captioning friendly. If you are a conference presenter, then you are in a unique position here. Even if the audio was not recorded properly, you know exactly what you were saying, or what the question of the audience was. You can even remember who in particular asked the question and write that name in the captions. I want to address an important point. Our goal here is to spread good C++ ideas as widely as possible, not to document a historical event. We want captions to capture the best intent of the presenter, not what they happen to say. Please delete unnecessary words like, so, well, you know, it's like a... Delete sentence false starts or anything else that isn't contributing to the presentation of the ideas. Captioning is a unique opportunity to go back in time and make corrections. For example, if you loosely quoted Scott, captioning gives you the opportunity to get the quote worded exactly right. Plus, it may turn out you were quoting Andre. Or you know if you intended to mention something during the talk, but forgot. It may feel inaccurate somehow to change what was said, but fidelity to history is less important than fidelity to intent. Fixage is good. Briefly speaking, you know what captions best capture the intent of your presentation. So if you are a presenter, then you are the best captioner possible. The page Tips for Captioners and Translators gives some more advice. If you want to get credit like this, then click this check mark. You can also do it later. Feel free to add any info about the captioner in the end of the captions. If you would like to support our initiative, then feel free to add the link to the community wiki. After you are done, press Submit Contribution. The captions get submitted for review. The YouTube help says that the captions are reviewed by the viewers, and once enough approval statistics is gathered, the captions get published automatically. But so far I have never seen that mechanism working. That is why I would recommend you to not wait until your submitted captions get reviewed. Instead, get in touch either with me for the CppCon or BoostCon channels, or with the YouTube channel owners. The simplest way to let me know is over Slack. Not yet in Slack? Go to here. After you join the CPP Lang team, join the CPP VAP channel. Then write to me something like, "My ID, please publish my captions for the CppCon 2017 video named, let's say, Captioning and Translating C++ Videos." If you have the wiki.com account, then another simple way to let me know is with a private message right on the wiki. Once I get your message, I'll go to YouTube as CppCon Manager, enter the Community Contributions section, and will review your captions. If you are a presenter, then you know better than I do what captions should be there. In such cases, I accelerate my review using this trick. I usually look for major or evident issues. If I see any, I let you know. In any case, I typically press Publish. After that, you can see the captions published. Afterwards, you can make fixes if needed. There is one more important step. After your contribution is published, please go to the catalog of available captions and translations and add your record by example of the existing ones. This requires a wiki.com account. It is nice if the record contains the direct link to the video, session abstract, speaker info, slides, and whatever the viewer might need. Please keep the record sorted by language, conference, year, and alphabetically otherwise. Feel free to propose and implement your mechanism of keeping the catalog, such that the records can be sorted or filtered like in a spreadsheet or a database. Now it is time for translating. The procedure is pretty much the same as the original English captioning, except for a tiny difference. You can write your translation by yourself, or you can press auto-translate and edit the auto-translation. That's the only difference. Don't forget to get credit. Feel free to write your info in the end of translation and provide a link to the wiki. See, when we have quality English captions, well time synchronized, the translating is so easy and fast. Multiple people can work together on the same translation. Multiple translations can be worked on in parallel. That's it for captioning. You can find more info at the wiki, but on one page I'd like to stop in details. It is what is missing in YouTube. If you are a YouTube developer, then please visit this page. It is a ready-made list of feature requests. Currently, I, as a captioner, translator, reviewer, and publisher, miss the following features. If the video has translations but the viewer does not know it, then nothing tells the viewer that the translation can be turned on and how to do that. I remember one of YouTube help videos or pages mentioned something like that, but didn't provide any screenshots or videos, and I have never seen that working. I'd like the video owners to be able to enable for all the videos a reminder for the viewers in the beginning of the video that the translations are available and how to turn them on. So whenever a video is captioned or translated, that reminder to trigger. The YouTube feature named cards, like on this my example, require manual interference to every video and can only be done by the channel owners, not by the community. Sometimes not only the presenter's speech needs to be translated, but the slides also. Would be nice to have multiple captions at the same time. One translate the speech, another translate the slides. Both scrolled and positioned independently. Sometimes more than one person speaks in the video. Would be nice to be able to show the captions in different colors for different people. Recently, while preparing this presentation, I have noticed on CppCon channel the new captions submitted for review. The first time I saw them, YouTube was saying that they were submitted a week ago. This means that for 1 week, I wasn't aware that the new captions had been submitted for review. I, as a channel manager, would like to get an email about the new community contributions and to be able to customize the frequency of such emails. Also, I don't see in YouTube who has submitted the captions, and there is no way to get in touch with the captioner. I'd like to be able to write a direct message to discuss the captions. There are some other feature requests on that page, and will be added to that page, but the most challenging and at the same time the most valuable feature YouTube could have
is an opportunity to add a translation in the form of an extra soundtrack, like in the movie.
Voice translates voice, and the captions translate the slides, show the web links, clarify the code fragments, etc. If voice translation is implemented, then many of other feature requests will not be that important. And for the viewers, the viewing will become almost as comfortable as watching the movies. If you are a YouTube developer or manager, then I'd like to make friends with you. I can provide more details and use cases if needed. That's about all I have to tell about the C++ Video Access project. Now I'd like to tell a bit about the history of this wiki. During my volunteering at C++ Now conference in May 2017, certain occasion has triggered my idea of translating the C++ videos to one language, alone. I started research and John Kolb showed me that YouTube supports captions. He showed me the captions that he created for a promotional video. For now, I believe John is the first-most C++ video captioner. I started experimenting with a short video and experienced a very unexpected and highly enthusiastic support from John. He suggested to make the translation a global community-driven initiative. He told me about the sites reddit.com and wikidot.com that were considered as the candidates for the wiki. Even the name of the initiative, C++ Video Access Project, was suggested by John. If not John, then I believe my idea would stay just an idea. Here's the takeaway of this talk. These are live viewers. These are English-speaking video viewers. These are English readers, those who understand written English but not spoken. These are non-English speakers, those who don't understand English. The people in these two categories do not watch the C++ videos. They get nothing from us. There is a huge opportunity to broaden the audience of the C++ videos. To reach these significant groups of people, we need to caption and translate our videos. If you are a presenter, then you are the best captioner possible. If you provide quality English captions, then your video will reach this group in one shot. And your captions will help the translators to cover this group. If you are multilingual, then you can help leverage the value of the tremendous work done at major C++ conferences. You can become known among these people. By your next C++ on-site interview, the interviewers may start recognizing you by your first and last name. If you are in one of these groups, then there is a resource that links you to the high-quality C++ content in your language. YouTube provides support for us as a community to work together to do the captioning and translating. Everything you need is located on the C++ Video Access Project wiki or can be easily added by anyone in the community. Go to cppvap.wikidot.com and start changing the world. Thank you and happy captioning and translating.
correlation between people who don't, or English readers or non-English readers and languages. So it will be very unlikely that somebody speaking German, for example, would not understand English. So I think there's less of a, that makes less sense to translate captions to German than in some other language where there are many non-English.
Yes, I agree.
Can you turn your mic,
Yes,
please?
somehow.
Can you turn it on?
Is it working now? I agree that for such countries as Germany, Sweden, and some other Western European countries, population, half of the population, most of the population speaks both languages. And, but there are many countries such as China, Middle East, countries, territory of former Soviet Union, Eastern Europe, Africa, Latin America. Many of them don't speak English. If they are developers, they read. They can read. Maybe some of them don't even understand written English. So there is still, I believe, a strong demand for videos in their native language. So, yes?
So, do you have some experience actually doing the annotations on the video? And how long did it take?
The latest translation and captioning that I've done is John Kolb's lightning talk, 5-minute, 6-minute video. And it took me time from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. captioning and translating to Russian. So it's not difficult, but it's very time-consuming effort. So that's why it's nearly impossible to do alone such an amount of work. That's why this has been started as a community effort.
I was just trying to get a sense if I were to pick an hour-long video and only translate it into English, because that's the only language I know. What sort of a time sink am I?
If it's not the first most your attempt, if you are already experienced in that, it would take, I believe, 1 hour and a half video to caption into English, video in English to caption in English, would probably take you 8 hours.
And that's starting from where YouTube had already done their initial captioning.
You mean auto-generated
Yeah.
captions? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the overall idea would be to, instead of doing the whole board, to just do part of it, like get a massive contribution from that.
You can do captioning for certain part of the video. Another person, if he wants to continue, he can continue and do the same, continue your work, and it might be a collective effort. That's possible. You just, instead of submitting your captions, you save the draft and another person continues at that place. You can provide captions for a particular part of the talk where the audio was not recorded properly, for example, stuff like that.
I guess one thing that might help is like we just got to know that it's supposed to do that, and even so, it's kind of opaque to us, like how much has been translated, like what help is actually needed. So having statistics of like which languages are currently translated and how much is done, like I guess having those statistics somewhere would help for us to can jump in and contribute a little bit here. That's what.
Yeah, the comment was, as I understand, it probably makes sense to see which work is currently in progress, and that's quite possible to add that page. And there is actually one page which starts an initiative similar to that. Where's my mouse? It's disconnected. So John created this page and he was working on this video. It's possible too. So, oh, it's not turned on. Okay, so on cppweb.com, oh, let me bar it up again, back on. So, on this page, John has let us others know that he's working on this video, and anybody else who has wikidot.com account can go to this page and edit this page, add whatever you want, save, and in such a way let other people know that you are working on some video. Any more questions?
Do you think there'd be value in me doing this for C++ Weekly also? They're just 5 or 6 minute videos.
Sorry?
Do you think there'd be value in this for C++ Weekly for my YouTube videos?
Yes, sure. I think it makes sense to do captioning for those also. It will broaden the audience significantly. And community contributions are open on C++ Weekly. It's already possible to do that.
Maybe all your videos are already captioned, but you never know.
I think you get notifications if you have a
And
community caption contribution.
And I remember when this summer John was visiting his friend in Sweden, who was originally German. That person told that he saw all the videos by Alex Stepanov, except only these 4 videos. And I tried to get in touch with the owner of those videos. Those videos are in Russian. And I requested them to open the community contributions, but they still not responding to one of my notes. So I requested them to open the community contribution. The person responded, I don't know who is the owner, and I don't remember where I took those. I told them, the owner is you, and here's how to open them, and still there's no reply. So if this owner is watching now, recorded this video, please open the community contributions for this number of videos. Where are they? For these videos of Alex Stepanov, please open those. Any more questions? All right then, let's proceed to the next session. Thank you very much.